We have a Mumbai fan in Dishang. We have a Chennai fan in Sudarshanan. A lot of talk happened before the game. Everyone was pumped up, and obviously it's the most highlighted match of IPL every year. Mumbai CSK, the El Clasico of IPL of sorts. Not the game Mumbai would have expected to play today, but I think slow starts has been their problem for the longest time. Dishang, your views on today's game. Where do you think it went wrong for them in both the innings?
I think the second part, like they started well in batting also and bowling also. They were good in the power play. Like 2 wickets were gone, like around 30, 40 runs were gone. So I think they have to work on the second innings, like majorly, like after like 8 overs in both like batting and bowling.
Right.
They lost after 10 overs, like in both. So yeah.
And Chennai, on the other hand, so basically, like you could say that they had some sort of luck going their way today, but also Dhoni was also at his very best in terms of stopping Mumbai by the 12th or 13th over, where the game just suddenly changed and Mumbai couldn't
Hmm.
achieve the 180 plus target they were looking at some point, and everyone thought that
Yeah.
okay, this is going to be high scoring. But again,
Yeah.
Dhoni being Dhoni, he did what he had to do. He got in Sam Curran, he got in Piyush Chawla, most unexpected players to play today, and Chennai
Yeah.
could defend it. So, what do you think about? What do you make of Chennai's first IPL game, Sudarshan?
So this sort of had the entire Dhoni touch. The reason being, whenever he even played international cricket, India used to sort of progress steadily, and that was very unlike what Mumbai Indians did today. So Mumbai Indians got up to that rollicking start, and 4 overs, 45 odd, and people were like 200 on the cards and stuff like that. And then they fell well short of that mark. And when Dhoni was at the helm of India, he always used to start steadily, slow even than the other teams, especially in world tournaments. And then you would see them if people would say 200 is par on the wicket, he'd take India, or India would sort of end up scoring 170, 180, and probably end up winning. And then he openly used to say that in an attempt to target the 200 run mark, we often fall short, well short, like 140, 130. And instead of that, if I rather progress steadily, I'd at least reach 180, which was seen today very well, because the way Chennai chased it as well, uh, paced it thoroughly well, and very, in fact, exact opposite of what Mumbai did. Started very fast, but then sort of, it was like a soda bottle that loses its fizz towards the end.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, you look at it, the game was very much, at some points it was very nervy for both the sides, where, anyway, the game could have gone anyway. There were three drop catches. One was difficult, but the other two were quite in the
Yeah.
Mumbai players' hands that they let it go. But I mean, again, what do you think about the squad going forward? Like, okay, so this is the first game, and it will be very quick for us to judge. Okay, this wasn't the squad that Mumbai should have gone with. But do you think that this particular is there any particular player who needs to be replaced in the squad, or should Mumbai change the batting order of some sort? What do you think about this, Dishan?
I don't think so. I think they were short of a spinner or an experienced spinner. Because if you see Chennai side, there were a lot of experienced player, and that showed in the match also how they were handling bowling as well as batting.
Right.
Like that over by Jadeja. Jadeja is a, you know how he is. He can change anywhere, like anytime.
Yeah.
So I think experience, I think somewhere in bowling side maybe. Batting, I think it's okay. It's the first match. But yeah, I think bowling
It,
and a spinner, I feel they need one good spinner. Maybe.
Right. And coming
in
back to
terms of the
Chennai,
combination that actually I'd like to add it here. In terms of the combination that Mumbai went in with, it was a surprise to see Saurabh
Yeah,
Tiwari start right up,
yeah. Who
because
expected?
Ishan
Yeah,
Kishan, yeah, Ishan Kishan, the explosive guy that he was. But the end of at the end of the day, you can't blame that lineup because it was Saurabh Tiwari who sort of ended up top scoring,
Yeah.
and you remove him, you never know where Mumbai Indians would have ended with.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Ishan Kishan is an opener, like
Yeah, he plays in the top order more.
So middle order, I don't think so. Other than Aditya Tare, there would be
Any other player to go with. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, you look at it, Saurabh Tiwari has come back to the Mumbai squad quite a lot of times now. Like he goes away for a season, he comes back. He
yeah,
goes away for a season, he comes back, and then he gives this one performance, and then Mumbai, I don't know, for some reason, just makes a change, gets in a
Hmm.
Aditya Tare or Ishan Kishan, or drops a foreign player, gets an Indian player, and puts a foreign player in the batting lineup.
yeah.
What about Chennai's lineup? Do you see Imran Tahir coming back? Because Chennai has this history of going with that first team that they play in the first game to stick to that. Dwayne Bravo is a certainty. He's going to make a comeback for sure. He's always been there. He's Dhoni's chosen one for some reason, and like you just know somewhere deep within your heart that okay, Dwayne Bravo is one player that we are going to see moving forward into this tournament. So, what do you make of Chennai's lineup in the coming few games?
So one of the first things is that we really don't know what the niggle is and how serious or otherwise it is. So even if say Dwayne Bravo becomes fit to play in the next game itself, you probably might not see him return immediately because the one who came instead of him, Sam Curran, is the one I believe. He's delivered really well.
Yeah,
The opening breakthrough, and then with
yeah,
the bat, that important cameo towards the end. So even if say Bravo is fit to 90 to 100% next before the next game, I don't see him coming back. Uh, the possible change could be somewhere in the top of the order. But again, knowing MS and I mean following him lead teams over the years, he really doesn't change a team immediately even after a loss. Here they have won the match, so there's really no need to change anything. So I think they'll stick to this combination. Uh, Really, so this looks a balanced unit. So uh, I think that he never had a fully fit or fully performing Irfan Pathan when he was captaining India. So in Sam Curran, I think that he's got someone who can
Yeah.
swing the ball up front and then hit those lusty blows towards the end to sort of make
He's
the closer
yeah.
games
I
in his
remember
side
we
favor.
spoke about this
Yeah.
all-rounder theory in the preview podcast, where you were like Dhoni always wanted this all-rounder who can bat and bowl. Where at the end of his career with India, he got Hardik Pandya, but at that time he was just captain for a year or so, I think, and then he resigned as the captain. But now, like with Sam Curran, it's one of those possibilities that he loves to have an all-rounder who
will
can.
play.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where do you see the sides ending up now? Looking at how they've played and how they've come over their rustiness of sorts. Uh, I mean, I feel personally the rustiness issue wasn't that much. It felt like a normal IPL game where you felt like okay, it was going on. Plus the effects, the sound effects that were there, that didn't really make you feel that the audience was missing out. So I mean,
yeah.
some points yes, where the Mumbai chants came in because that's not how Mumbai fans chant. So whoever is doing the IPL thing, please make note. Please make a note of that if you're watching this. But yeah, on that note, like yeah, what do you think is the final outcome out of this?
That was superb. The broadcasting has been superb. Like we've seen the England series, England versus West Indies, Pakistan, Australia. There was this ambient sound, but it wasn't sort of matching the levels of
Yeah,
excitement on the ground. I mean,
Yeah,
there was really, it was top-notch broadcasting even back then with Sky Sports. They had the brilliant commentary and the ambient sound worked well in English environment. But for an IPL, that level of, I mean, that volume of cheering or crowd noise wouldn't have sufficed, or it wouldn't have justified the level of tournament the IPL is. And that's where Star Sports made a difference. You, as you said, you never really missed the crowd because every point the volume was such that the commentators had to shout,
yeah,
and in real time they really
yeah,
shout and sort of you hear the sound and you realize yeah, it's really Phil, and the commentator has to make himself heard, and that's precisely what happened even today. So and it was like when there was a wicket falling, there was this extra cheer, or a boundary being, there was this extra cheer, and even otherwise there was this normal buzz around the ground. So you never really missed the Indian crowd there.
Yeah. Talking about the crowd, Chennai and Mumbai, both teams are teams which have banked on crowds, which have banked on the audience to support them
Yeah,
whenever they found
yeah,
themselves in a difficult situation. And today, somewhere you could see that with Mumbai Indians in the last few overs. Generally when they're in a situation like this, their crowd backs them so much that they instantly get that the pump that you need somewhere,
pump,
the
yeah,
extra push that you need. Maybe somewhere that lacked, but at the same time, like obviously ambience was great, no doubt. The effects were great, but the problem is you need like real people somewhere out there. And the stadiums, the stadium was huge today. It was difficult to clear the
yeah,
boundary ropes. Very few players could do it. I mean, that's where Krunal Pandya lost his wicket. That's where I think one more player lost his wicket. I think it was Saurabh Tiwari who was trying to clear the ropes and lost his wicket. So I think to count in all of these things have had an impact of sorts on both the teams.
And I think,
Chennai and
yeah, as you said, I think that probably might have had more impact on Mumbai Indians because the Wankhede is sort of a
it's
fortress that
loud,
it
loud.
really,
yeah,
yeah, it's really loud. It's
yeah,
really everybody that
Yeah,
watches the game there gets involved. Whereas in M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, there are three stands which have already been traditionally empty because of
empty. Yeah,
there's some legal suit going on.
yeah.
So
yeah,
you don't really associate noise with M.A.
Chennai. Yeah.
Chidambaram, but as you do with Wankhede, so
correct.
probably played a bigger
Plus the
factor. Was a bigger factor.
situational effect. It's somewhere it lacks. You can't always be perfect with technology. Like that's a given.
Yeah,
So I mean, somewhere that needs to be. We can't do anything about it, but that's how it is. And that's what makes the IPL more tricky now for teams like Mumbai and Chennai, who boast a lot of good talent and like a good squad. But at the same time, their 12th man has always been their crowd support. So coming to the final segment, that's uh, okay. Mumbai had their one best player and Chennai had the one best player. Who do you think was the best player for Chennai today, Sudarshan?
Ambati Raidu, he really walked in at a tricky situation, didn't he? 6 for 2,
Yeah,
and
six for
then to
two,
play the kind of knock that he did,
70
never
scores. Yeah.
really accelerated from the word go, yeah. But once he started hitting that big sixes, was looking so effortless. He was charging down, he was heaving, he was doing whatnot, and it really didn't like. He was like, that's like how I eat my meal with my spoon kind of a thing. It was as easy as it can get, and the result was for everybody to see. But I guess at the point that he just got out, he was just starting to get a bit twitchy. Six
Yeah.
overs, 5 overs, some 50 odd being needed, 5 overs,
yeah,
47. And he was desperately trying to hit Rahul Chahar out of the park, and that resulted in his pause. But till that time, along with Faf du Plessis, I think CSK didn't have Suresh Raina. And today, Faf du Plessis plus Ambati Raidu did what
right.
Suresh Raina does
Yeah.
generally. So Raidu's innings just stood out to me, and there were these yet again. Whenever Raidu does well, it's the talk is all about he being the India's number four that there wasn't in the World Cup of 2019. So yeah, terrific knock and clearly the best player for me.
Interesting you bring up Raidu, and Raidu brings up
Yeah,
Mumbai Indians somehow. And this question, I
yeah.
think Dushank has already predicted this one.
Mm,
What do you think? Like, do you think Mumbai did make a mistake by letting go of someone like Raidu?
I think that's Mumbai Indians. Like they buy people, they buy players, and then they'll just leave them or they don't let them play. So you can't judge, but I think Indian team lost a player. Ambati Raidu, I think.
Fair
This
enough. Okay.
Last
this
year.
entire scenario could be sort of a different podcast in itself. Players leaving, I mean, sides letting go of players
Yeah,
who really do well in other teams. One
yeah.
of the examples is Trent Bolt. Delhi Daredevils let him go. Delhi Daredevils let AB de Villiers go at one point.
Andre
So these are
Russell,
all,
Go. Yeah.
David
yeah,
Warner, Andre Russell, all of these players
Lot of players.
once played
Yeah.
for Delhi. So I mean, you could only
yeah.
imagine what Delhi has gone through. And Mumbai is suffering at the hands of Raidu. But I mean, that's fair enough. होता है. Mumbai has players to back it up. Saurabh Tiwari stepped up today,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
of course, you miss someone like Raidu who's been a constant figure in your team. I recently saw this interaction between Rohit Sharma and Harbhajan Singh, where even Harbhajan Singh was like, I've played for Mumbai for 10 years now, like 2 years in CSK. I've enjoyed both the environments, different environments, but at the same time, when I play for CSK, sometimes I get so confused. ये भी अपनी team है और ये भी अपनी team है. So what do I do? I don't think Raidu has that feeling anymore. He's like, I don't care if you're Mumbai, bro. I'm just going to come out and hit you for whatever runs I can. So I mean, that's pretty hard on Mumbai. But talking about the match,
Yeah.
man of the match for Mumbai, if you had to pick one, Dishan.
Saurav Tiwari, like no other player stood up. Like he was the only one who was out there doing everything.
Right.
Other than that, I don't think so anyone. Bumrah got smashed like 43, 4 overs. It's not
Very
Bumrah that.
unexpected. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
I
mean, you
think
look at it, yeah.
Jadeja was much better. Like that over by Jadeja changed the whole game for Mumbai Indians. Like
Yeah.
he took around 2 wickets, or
Yeah.
around that, lot of wickets were gone. So like I think Jadeja, I feel Jadeja was better than Raidu. I would put Jadeja up in today's game because he changed the game mainly.
Any other views that you guys have regarding
Thanks
this
for having.
pertaining to this matchup, though?
Fielding, I think fielding was not good by both the teams. Like they need to work on the fielding, both the teams.
Yeah, I think
Rest तो
so.
ठीक है.
That could be because of the sort of the break in play.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting things was the innings break panel or the pre-match panel didn't have to sort of invest in the studio setup because the entire stands were empty, and they nicely converted those seats into used the gaps there and made that studio kind of a feel there. So that was another interesting thing to see. So it's really amazing to see the kind of innovative ways these broadcasters are coming through, especially with no crowd around. So that was another good thing to see.